Do you ever wonder how many souls there are in purgatory? Billions. Billions upon billions, upwards of 15 to 25 billion using conservative estimates. That's why this November, from November 1st to November 30th, I am teaming up with the 1 Billion Souls devotion from Ireland. We're going to talk about that in today's video. If you would like to support this channel in any way, please do so through Buy Me a Coffee. Let's get right into it. Now, how can we know how many souls there are in purgatory? We can't, but if you look at information from the last 70 years, there's about 35 billion people that have died. From the 60s to the 90s, about 45 million people would die each year. From the 90s to the 2010s, it would be about 50 to 52. In the last few years, it's been upwards of 60 to 65 million people that die each and every single year. And I think probably the easiest statistic to use, since it's applied often in academics, and it's a good predictor of human behavior, is the bell curve, which places the top 15%, that's one segment, the middle 70%, and then the bottom 15%. Those are good estimates to use in predicting human behavior, and we can apply it spiritually. So if you take 70% of at least the people that have died in the last 70 years, that would place us right at about 24 billion people, not including people that have died way in the past, because we don't have that information. But we do know that to certain souls, they will stay in purgatory until the end of time. So easily, there are 15 to 20 billion people in purgatory at any given moment. And so we need to pray to have as many of these people released. Now, what is the 1 Billion Souls devotion? I will show you its promotional video at the end. But essentially it's this, that we are seeking out courageous people to pray 2 St. Gertrude chaplets every day for the month of November for the release of 1 billion souls. Now, you know that the traditional promise that Jesus gave to St. Gertrude is that in praying this prayer, that 1,000 souls would be released each time it's prayed. So therefore, a St. Gertrude chaplet you would release 50,000 souls. Many of you already know this, and we are going to call on God's mercy that He allow to fulfill this promise. So that's part of the work, 2 St. Gertrude chaplets a day for the release of 1 billion souls. Now, I want to share with you something that a viewer was shown that will blow your mind if we do what I'm telling you. Listen to this. 3 days into praying the 1 billion souls devotion to the holy souls, I was laying in bed fast asleep. I was woken up suddenly by a noise. I could hear what sounded like a large crowd of people talking outside my house from outside my window. It was a cold, wintry night. As I stood up and opened the curtains, I was startled and in sudden shock. I could see a sea of people looking up at my window, standing the whole way from the end of my street, queuing right up to my driveway. They filled the whole street. I couldn't even see the road or the tarmac of the road. All I could see was holy souls. They were standing, staring up at me. There were thousands of them standing so close together. They looked transparent, as I could see right through them very faintly. They were from all different ages and ethnicities, from little children from around the ages of 7 or 8, upwards to men and women of all ages. I realized what I was seeing was a sea of holy souls. Thousands of them standing at the end of my driveway, looking at me with eyes of love and compassion. Some looked like they had much pain in their eyes, and I got the impression these types of souls had suffered immensely for the sins they had committed and had been in that state for a long time. They had all different types of clothing, which looked like trends from different generations. I saw people who looked like they were wearing outfits from the 1200s, the 1500s, the 1800s. Some were wearing Victorian clothing. Some looked like they had lived in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, right up to now. After I realized what I was looking, I felt a great peace and consolation in my heart for all the holy souls that I was looking at. So I decided that for the remainder of November, I would keep praying for the holy souls in my street. I light a candle every night for them and place it in the same window of my bedroom, and every night the holy souls stood there, waiting from the prayers and for the candle to be lit. Sometime they would start to sing very silently after the candle was lit. The prayers and offerings to them seemed to calm their sufferings. I felt great joy from them after I would pray for them. I would offer up all my sufferings for their sufferings, and I would leave a candle at the same window every night. The holy souls stood at the end of my driveway for the whole of November until the devotion completed on the 30th of November. Every night I felt great peace when I was standing amongst them. As I prayed fervently for the holy souls, Satan attacked me more and more. The attacks were very severe on the mind. In the midst of my suffering, I would stand outside and amongst the holy souls. I felt great consolation and peace by uniting my suffering with these holy souls. I could feel very intense peace and a sense of purity which came with their purification. When united, they felt a great peace and consolation for my sufferings. When we offer up our prayers and sufferings for the holy souls, they then offer their prayers and sufferings for us. Then God grants us special graces to us so that we can grow in holiness when we unite our prayers and sufferings with the holy souls. That's the true power and mercy given to us when praying for the holy souls. Praying for them is a prayer for ourselves. Then when the souls receive their crowns of glory in heaven, they will pray for us until we breathe our last breath. It's like having 1,000 guardian angels praying for us from the souls who were saved from our prayers. Can you imagine what will happen on earth when 1 billion souls are released? See, I think we have wanted too little. I have wanted too little for the souls in purgatory. We speak of releasing thousands. We speak of releasing millions, and it's not enough. It's not enough. Our ambition for purgatory is too small. And this November, we are increasing it. 1 billion souls released in November. That's what I want you to have the ambition for, to desire, and to want. We cannot do this alone. Impossible. We must do it together. Now check out this video from the 1 billion souls devotion.
This November, Ireland invites you to join in prayer to release 1 billion souls from purgatory. During the Great Famine, Archdeacon Kavanagh, devoted to the holy souls, prayed fervently for their intercession to end the famine. After offering 100 masses, a profound miracle took place at Loch, Ireland. The silent apparition, a treasured sign of hope. Now, we ask for your prayers to honour our ancestors who suffered through the persecution and famine, and who rekindle a devotion that once united Ireland in faith. By praying for the holy souls, we also strengthen the pillar of faith that they helped build. These souls, now waiting for our prayers, will intercede for us, returning our devotion 1,000-fold through God's mercy. Let's reignite the flame of love across Ireland, calling on the holy souls just as our ancestors did in their time of need. Join us in prayer this November and help restore the sacred devotion throughout our land. Visit 1billionsoulsdevotion.com to join this powerful movement of faith.
My friends, I will see you in the next one.